Toronto is Canada's largest city and one of the most diverse places on the planet. Yet first-time visitors consistently underestimate how much there is to it beyond the CN Tower. Before you book anything, here is everything you actually need to know. We are covering entry requirements, getting from the airport and around the city, the best neighborhoods to stay, safety, real costs, the best time to visit, and the mistakes first-timers keep making. From the islands and the waterfront to the food halls, museums, and the thundering day trip to Niagara Falls, Toronto packs far more variety into a trip than most people expect. Save this video before you start booking flights and hotels, because we are answering the questions people actually search before they land in Toronto. Let us start with entry, since Toronto is straightforward to reach for most travelers. U.S. citizens need only a valid passport to enter Canada, with no visa and no electronic travel authorization required for tourist visits. Visa-exempt travelers from many other countries, including the UK, Australia, and most of Europe, do need an ETA, the electronic travel authorization, applied for online before flying, so check your own country's status well ahead of time. Most visitors arrive at Toronto Pearson International Airport, code YYZ, one of the busiest in North America, about a half-hour northwest of downtown depending on traffic. The easiest way downtown is the UP Express train, which runs from Pearson to Union Station in the heart of the city in about 25 minutes for a low flat fare and no traffic worries. There is also a second, smaller airport, Billy Bishop, right on the waterfront, used by some regional flights and genuinely convenient if your airline flies there, since it is minutes from downtown. Once in the city, Toronto's public transit system, the TTC, covers the core with subways, streetcars, and buses, and a reloadable Presto card or contactless tap is the simplest way to pay. Downtown Toronto is genuinely walkable, and many first-time visitors find they can reach most major sites on foot or with a short streetcar ride, so a rental car is usually unnecessary. Rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft operate throughout the city and are a reliable fallback late at night, or when the weather turns, which in Toronto it certainly can. The Path, an enormous underground pedestrian network beneath downtown, connects offices, shops, and transit stops, a lifesaver for staying warm and dry in winter or during a sudden downpour. And if you do rent a car for day trips, note that downtown parking is expensive and traffic is heavy. So many visitors rent only for the days they actually leave the city. One tip on the UP Express: buy or tap for it right at the airport station. And if you are staying near Union Station, it drops you steps from the subway line that threads through the core. Toronto's subway is small for a city this size, just a couple of main lines, so the streetcars and buses do a lot of the work, and a transit app showing real-time arrivals is genuinely worth downloading. Go Transit, the regional rail and bus network, is how you reach the wider area cheaply. Useful for some day trips and for reaching suburbs and stadiums beyond the TTC's core. Where you base yourself shapes your whole trip, and Toronto is really a city of distinct neighborhoods, each with a very different feel. The downtown core and the entertainment district put you within walking distance of the CN Tower, the waterfront, sports arenas, and theaters, the most convenient base for a first visit. Old Town and the St. Lawrence Market area offer historic streets, one of the best food markets in the world, and an easy walk to the Distillery District, with a slightly calmer feel than the core. Yorkville is Toronto's upscale, leafy district, home to designer shopping, fine dining, and the major museums, a polished base for travelers who want luxury and quiet within reach of downtown. Queen West and its trendier extension, West Queen West, are the creative, arts-driven heart of the city, packed with independent shops, galleries, cafes, and some of the best nightlife. Kensington Market and Chinatown, side by side, deliver a bohemian, multicultural energy with vintage shops and incredible cheap eats, appealing to travelers who want character over polish. The harborfront and waterfront area offers lake views, ferry access to the islands, and a breezy, open feel, though it can be quieter at night once the day crowds leave. Neighborhoods like the Beaches and Leslieville, a little east of downtown, give a relaxed, residential local feel with cafes and lakefront boardwalks, good for a longer or repeat visit. Little Italy and Little Portugal, west of the core, give a lively, food-focused evening scene with patios and cafes, a good base for travelers who prioritize dining and nightlife. If you are visiting for a specific event, a Blue Jays game or a concert, staying near the downtown arenas and the Rogers Center saves you a late-night transit trip after the crowds pour out. Whatever you choose, aim to sleep somewhere on or near a subway or major streetcar line, since that single factor does more for your daily convenience than almost anything else in Toronto. For a first trip focused on the big sights, staying in the downtown core or Old Town keeps nearly everything within walking or a short streetcar ride, which is the simplest approach. On to the must-sees, starting with the CN Tower, the icon of the skyline, where the glass floor and the observation decks deliver views across the city and Lake Ontario, and the brave can try the Edgewalk. The Toronto Islands, a short ferry ride from downtown, offer car-free parkland, beaches, and the single best postcard view of the skyline, an essential half-day in warmer months. The Royal Ontario Museum, the ROM, is Canada's largest museum, blending natural history and world cultures behind its dramatic crystal-shaped glass addition. The Art Gallery of Ontario, the AGO, holds a world-class collection in a Frank Gehry redesigned building, a must for art lovers and an easy pairing with nearby Chinatown. The Distillery District, a pedestrian-only stretch of restored Victorian industrial buildings, is packed with galleries, boutiques, cafes, and one of the most beloved Christmas markets in winter. St. Lawrence Market, repeatedly ranked among the world's best food markets, is the place to graze your way through Toronto's food scene, famous for its pea meal bacon sandwich. Casa Loma, a genuine early 20th century Gothic revival castle complete with towers and secret passages, is a surprising and photogenic stop above the city. The Waterfront and Harborfront Center offer lakeside walks, festivals, and boat tours, while nearby Ripley's Aquarium sits right at the base of the CN Tower for an easy combined visit. And Toronto is a major sports city, so catching a Blue Jays baseball game at the Rogers Center or a Raptors or Maple Leafs game in season is a genuinely fun way to feel the city's energy. Kensington Market itself is a sight as much as a neighborhood. A walkable maze of vintage shops, murals, and food stalls that reward simply wandering with no fixed plan. High Park, the city's largest, is a local favorite, especially in spring when the cherry blossoms draw crowds, and it offers trails, gardens, and even a small free zoo. For skyline photos, locals will tell you the best angle is from the Toronto Islands or from the Pearson Pier area across the harbor, especially at sunset when the towers light up. The Ontario Science Centre and the nearby ravine trails give families and nature lovers a break from the concrete, and much of Toronto is threaded with surprisingly wild green ravines. Graffiti Alley, just off Queen West, is a free open-air gallery of ever-changing street art, a quick and colorful stop that shows off the city's creative side. Now let us talk safety. And the reassuring news is that Toronto consistently ranks among the safest big cities in North America, with low rates of violent crime aimed at visitors. The most common issues are the same petty ones as any large city: pickpocketing in crowded transit and tourist areas, and theft of unattended bags, so keep valuables secure and aware. Standard city sense applies at night. Stick to well-lit, busy streets, and be a little more alert in quieter pockets and transit stations in the late hours as you would anywhere. Canada's emergency number is 911, the same as the US, and Toronto has a visible, approachable police presence throughout the downtown and tourist zones. Winter is the real safety consideration here. Icy sidewalks and extreme cold can be genuinely hazardous, so proper footwear, layers, and checking the forecast matter more than crime does. The city is very welcoming and diverse, and travelers of all backgrounds generally report feeling comfortable, but common respect and awareness go a long way as always. Tap water is clean and safe to drink throughout Toronto. So a refillable bottle saves money and there is no need to buy bottled water. Traffic and cyclists move fast downtown, and streetcars stop in the middle of the road. So watch carefully when stepping off a curb or crossing near tracks. Scams are relatively rare but not unheard of. Be wary of unsolicited street sellers, and always use official channels for tickets and tours rather than sidewalk resellers. If you visit in summer, sun and heat during festival crowds are worth a thought. Carry water and sunscreen for long days on the islands or at outdoor events. Keep a digital and paper copy of your passport and travel insurance details. And remember that as a foreign visitor, Canadian healthcare is not free to you, so travel medical coverage is strongly recommended. Overall, most visitors find Toronto calm, orderly, and easy to navigate, with the weather being the thing to plan around far more than personal safety. Let us get practical about cost, because Toronto is not a cheap city, though it is often a better value than travelers expect once the exchange rate is in your favor. Prices are in Canadian dollars, which for US and many international visitors stretches further than it looks. So mentally converting can make the city feel more affordable than the numbers suggest. Downtown hotels typically run somewhere from around 150 to over 300 Canadian dollars a night depending on season and location, with budget and boutique options in between. Food ranges widely. A casual meal or a market lunch can be $15 to $25, while a nice sit-down dinner easily runs $50 or more per person before drinks. Public transit is a bargain compared to taxis. A single TTC fare covers a long journey with transfers, and a day pass pays for itself quickly if you are hopping around. Attractions add up. The CN Tower, ROM, AGO, and Aquarium. Each carry a real admission fee, so a city pass bundling several sites can genuinely save money if you plan to see a lot. Tipping is customary in Canada, generally 15 to 20% at restaurants and $1 or $2 per drink at bars, similar to US norms. A realistic budget for a few days in Toronto for 2 people, mid-range hotel included, commonly lands somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000 depending on your pace. Budget travelers can cut costs sharply by using transit, eating at Kensington Market and the food halls, and mixing in the city's many free attractions and lakeside parks. Alcohol is relatively expensive in Ontario compared to the US, so drinks and wine at restaurants add up quickly, something to factor into an evening out budget. For international visitors, watch your card's foreign transaction fees. A card that waives them plus paying in local Canadian dollars rather than accepting on-the-spot US dollar conversion saves real money. And many of Toronto's best experiences are free. The island's ferry aside, walking the neighborhoods, browsing the markets, and enjoying the lakefront parks cost nothing at all. And sales tax is added at the register rather than shown on the price tag. So the final total is always a bit higher than the listed number. A common surprise for visitors. So when is the best time to go? And Toronto is very much a 4-season city where your experience changes dramatically with the calendar. Late spring, May, and June is a sweet spot, with mild temperatures, blooming parks, patios reopening, and the city coming back to life after winter before peak summer crowds and prices. Summer, July, and August is peak season, warm and lively with festivals nearly every weekend, island beaches in full swing, and the longest days, though it can get humid and busy. Fall, September, and October. Maybe the most beautiful time of all, with crisp air, brilliant autumn color in the ravines and nearby countryside, and thinner crowds. Winter, December through February, is cold and snowy, but it brings the magical Distillery District Christmas market, holiday lights, and indoor comfort via the underground path. If you want to see Niagara Falls partly frozen and dramatic, winter delivers. Just be ready for genuine cold and plan indoor breaks into every day. Toronto's festival calendar is a real draw. From the world-famous film festival in September to Caribbean Carnival in summer, so lining your trip up with an event can be a highlight. Shoulder seasons, spring and fall, generally offer the best balance of decent weather, lower prices, and manageable crowds for most travelers. Whatever season you choose, pack for the actual forecast. Toronto weather swings hard, and a summer day can turn stormy just as a mild winter day can turn bitter. Daylight swings hard with the seasons. Summer evenings stay bright late into the night, while winter afternoons go dark early. So plan your sightseeing hours around the actual daylight. Indoor attractions like the ROM, Aegyo, and the aquarium are your friends on a cold or rainy day, so keep a couple in reserve as weather backups no matter the season. And book hotels and any festival period visits well ahead, since major events fill rooms fast and push prices up across the city. One of Toronto's biggest advantages is what sits within a short drive, so building in at least one day trip is well worth it. Niagara Falls is the obvious one, about 90 minutes away, where the sheer scale of the falls genuinely lives up to the hype, best experienced up close on a boat tour beneath the mist. The nearby town of Niagara-on-the-Lake pairs perfectly with the falls, a charming historic village surrounded by wineries, ideal for a slower afternoon of tastings and strolling. Ontario's wine country in the Niagara region is a real surprise to many visitors, known especially for ice wine, with tours easily arranged from the city. For nature, the Scarborough Bluffs on the city's eastern edge offer dramatic cliffs above Lake Ontario, an easy escape that barely feels like you have left the city. A bit farther out, Blue Mountain and the Georgian Bay area deliver skiing in winter and hiking, beaches, and charming towns like Collingwood in the warmer months. Prince Edward County, a couple of hours east, has become a beloved getaway for its wineries, farm-to-table dining, and sandy beaches, a genuinely rewarding overnight if you have time. Stratford and its famous theater festival, or the Mennonite countryside around St. Jacobs, make for cultural day trips west of the city for repeat visitors. You can even reach Niagara Falls without a car. A seasonal GO train and bus combination connects Toronto to the falls directly, a scenic and stress-free option in the warmer months. If you want the classic falls experience, plan for the boat tour that takes you right into the mist at the base, plus a walk along the illuminated falls after dark if you stay into the evening. And most of these trips are far easier with a rental car for the day, though organized bus tours to Niagara Falls in particular are plentiful and stress-free. A word on food and culture, because Toronto's greatest strength may be that it is one of the most multicultural cities on Earth, and its food reflects that completely. You can eat your way around the world here, from Chinatown and Little Italy to Greektown, Little India, and Koreatown, often at genuinely modest prices. Local specialties worth trying include the pea meal bacon sandwich at St. Lawrence Market, poutine, and butter tarts, a classic Canadian sweet. Tipping is expected and appreciated, 15 to 20% at restaurants, and Canadians are famously polite, so a friendly, patient manner is the norm and goes a long way. Politeness genuinely matters in Canadian culture. Saying please, thank you, and sorry is standard, and queuing and holding doors are simply expected courtesies. Toronto is very LGBTQ friendly, home to one of the largest pride celebrations in the world, and travelers of all backgrounds are generally made to feel welcome. Dress is practical and casual almost everywhere, with the key being weather-appropriate layers rather than any particular formality, except at the finest restaurants. Cannabis is legal in Canada, but with rules around where you can buy and consume it. So if that interests you, use licensed shops and respect the public consumption limits. The city's food halls and markets, from St. Lawrence to the newer spots, are perfect for groups who can never agree on one cuisine since everyone picks their own and meets at a shared table. Coffee culture is strong here, and independent cafes across Queen West, Kensington, and Leslieville make for great low-cost breaks between sightseeing. And a small note: prices you see are usually before tax, and payment is overwhelmingly by tap card or phone, with cash increasingly optional across the city. Finally, The mistakes first-timers keep making, starting with the biggest, treating Toronto as just the CN Tower and downtown and missing the neighborhoods that give the city its real character. Number 2 is renting a car for a downtown-only trip, then battling traffic and paying steep parking when transit and walking would have been faster and cheaper. Number 3 is underestimating the weather, arriving without proper layers in winter or without rain and sun protection in summer, both of which Toronto delivers in full. Number 4 is not booking Niagara Falls or major attractions ahead in peak season, then facing long lines or sold-out boat tours on the day. Number 5 is only seeing the islands or the waterfront in bad weather, when a clear, warm day there is one of the best experiences the city offers. Number 6 is forgetting that prices are in Canadian dollars, and that tax is added at checkout, leading to budgeting surprises for international visitors. Number 7 is trying to cram Toronto and a Niagara day trip into too few days, then feeling rushed. Give the falls their own dedicated day if you can. Number 8 is sticking only to chain restaurants downtown and missing Kensington Market, the food halls, and the ethnic neighborhoods where the best and cheapest eating is. Number 9 is skipping the path in winter, then freezing outdoors when a warm underground route connects much of downtown. Number 11 is assuming everything is close together because it is one city. Greater Toronto is huge, and a site that looks nearby on a map can be a real transit haul away. And number 12 is not carrying a light layer even in summer. Evenings by the lake and the air conditioning indoors can both turn surprisingly cool. And number 10 is not allowing for how spread out the greater city is. Planning by neighborhood clusters rather than crisscrossing saves a lot of transit time. So who is Toronto actually best for? And the honest answer is that its variety makes it work for a remarkably wide range of travelers. Food lovers and culture seekers may get the most out of it. Few cities pack this many cuisines, museums, galleries, and live events into one walkable core. First-time international visitors do well here. English-speaking, extremely safe, easy to navigate by transit, and welcoming to every kind of traveler. Families find plenty too. The islands, the aquarium, the science center, and the CN Tower give kids a full itinerary within easy reach. Sports fans get a genuine treat, with baseball, basketball, and hockey all downtown, and an atmosphere that comes alive on game nights. Couples and city break travelers can pair downtown sights with a romantic Niagara wine country day trip, mixing urban energy with countryside charm. Budget-conscious travelers can also make Toronto work, leaning on transit, market food, and the long list of free parks, markets, and neighborhoods that cost nothing to explore. And if you want a big, safe, endlessly diverse city with world-class food and one of the planet's great natural wonders just down the road, Toronto is one of the most rewarding trips in North America. That is everything you need to know before visiting Toronto in 2026, from getting around to knowing what to skip. Which part of the trip are you most excited for? The CN Tower, the islands, or the day trip to Niagara Falls? Tell us in the comments below. If this guide helped you plan your trip, please like and subscribe for more honest, in-depth travel guides from our small channel. Thank you for watching, and aloha from Kahana Designs. Until next time, safe travels and sweet dreams.